Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna start the first day of the new series that I'd like to call the Auto Build series. So basically I'll be doing a showcase on how to build various units in the games. So starting off with Chow first. This is one of the most earliest NAT files that I pulled, and if you pull them in early game, there's a certain way that you need to build them. I'll divide this video into sections talking about for early game, mid game, late game, and then the type of runes that you should use. But first, let's go over is skills. So Chow crits on his first skill. If it lands as a critical, it does continuous damage, right? Justice scales with his current HP. Notice I said current HP and not maximum HP, as well as attack power and the number of dead allies. So there are three variables that influences damage. The next one, flow, he recovers 15% HP every turn, and he removes harmful effects. One harmful effect. So let's say for example he has three harmful effects. The one that is listed first is the one that is listed first from the left is the one that gets removed first. I don't remember if it's the left or right, but the one that listed first. So if it's, let's say it's a dot, then a stun, then armor break, the dot will get removed in that order. If it was a stun, then a dot, then armor break, he will technically cleanse himself out of a stun. That is very important. So, okay, as it relates to the stat requirement, the order of priority is speed, and I'm going to explain to you why. And it's all due to his third skill, just like any other bruiser. If he doesn't get a turn, he doesn't really get the most out of his passive, which is recovering 15% HP every turn. So you can't have him on plus 50 speed and expect him to do well. For me personally, I'd like to go for at least plus 100 speed, and that is without towers. So yeah. Okay, so the stat priority speed, HP. I say HP instead of attack because you're gonna get the most value out of HP than you will with attack because it has low base attack. So in that order, speed, HP, attack, then crit rate. You need 85% crit rate, and considering that he awakens into crit rate, it makes it much easier to reach that cap or baseline. Back in the day, it would have been okay to run him with 70% crit rate, but since the recent crit rate change that come to us did, 70% crit rate is not as valuable or reliable as it was back then. So for consistent crits, 85% is the way to go. The next would be crit damage and defense, followed by a little bit of accuracy or for the first skill. However, you should never sacrifice accuracy or resistance for any other stat. Speed is the most important one, followed by HP, attack, defense, and crit rate. As a matter of fact, if you can't build Chow with 85% crit rate, don't use him. You're going to cry. You're going to get frustrated. Okay, with that being said, let's move on to the type of runes that you should use. But before I say this, let me tell you that stats before set. So don't have him on weak violence set and expect him to perform. It's not going to work. Stats before set. So, looking at crit damage, you want crit damage slot 4. On your slot 4, you're looking for speed, HP, defense, or attack percent. On slot 4, you want speed at all times. All times. Right? For HP, defense, and attack, you can swap out either one of them for crit rate. But then again, it all depends on how good your runes are and where the stats are allocated. So it's best to get as much stat as you can out of slot 4. Crit rate can occur in all slots. HP, defense, and attack, I believe, is the only slot, as well as slot 6 and 2. But for 1, 3, and 5, all of them kind of appear there. So it's good when you have the stats on slot 4 rather than crit rate. But if it's there already, it's fine. So crit damage. What we're looking for is speed. If you're early game, chances are you do not have enough speed in substats to make it all the way to 100 without sacrificing speed from slot 2. So with that being said, you're gonna go with speed here, right? You're gonna want to build him energy, or you can use an energy rune or blade. For the purpose of the video, I'm going to wait, let me do this. View equipped runes. So for the purpose of the video, I'm going to use this rune. I think this is too ridiculous because this is a what kind of rune again? This is an ancient rune, one that everybody could gain. So everybody should have a rune or the other counterparts like this. So I'm gonna include it in the video. So the next you're gonna look for is blade. So we have speed here, we have crit damage. So for slot 6, let's shoot for HP because as we said before, it gets more value out of HP. Now I only have this rune here, like it's better than this, so we're going for this. So HP. Now, what do we notice here? Even now crit rate hasn't increased, so now I have to do something about that. So I'm going to look for a slot with crit rate. Now this has a good balance of crit rate, attack, speed, etc. Now this is something that I would want. So that's 26 right there. So now we leave with more slots for energy. Since the crit rate is lacking, we're almost close to the speed cap. Defense is okay. Attack is a little bit low, but it's okay right now. So energy, we're looking for a crit rate. So not much here. I mean, this is good. Decent accuracy. We don't need much defense. We don't like this as it is now will suffice. So we're gonna look for one with the most crit rate because we want to meet that cap. So I have this one as the most crit rate. So there we go. Then for here, let's see, one with the most crit rate. So right now I have only 10 right here. So that's 78. So this is not enough. So what I'm gonna do is just change it around, remove this, and try to look for crit rate right here. I don't have crit rate right here, so I am forced to now use attack percent here. Ideally it would be better if you go HP, but you know, it's all basically how your runes are aligned. So this one has 11% crit rate, but this one is a little bit better, so I'll try this one. Then we look for the crit rate over here in speed. So right there you can see we're over the cap, which is 88. It was at 88% crit rate. So I'm gonna see if I can get crit rate from here, this point. So which one is better, this one or this one? I'd say 27% HP is quite good. Seeing as we have a good balance of attack already, we kind of want to survive more. So I'm gonna opt for this one instead, and then we get the rest in substats. So now we are only like one of the requirements. So let me see here, let's work with this. So see his stats, so he has 94% crit rate, So for defense is a bit on the low side. Let me see if this rune is not max. So you could opt to go for some defense artifacts or more attack. The HP is fine as this is. This is a bit too much speed. Well, because all you really need is plus 100. So yeah. For artifacts, it's more important to look for artifacts that help out the monster's abilities. So the most important one here being is passive, recovers 15% HP every turn. So you need to look for an artifact that increases his recovery rate. And yes, it does work on his passive. So we go on type artifact, we look for recovery percent, skill 3. And we look what we got here. So we got 99%. We basically want the one that has the most recovery rate, right? Which is this one I think that I have at this point in time. So 13% recovery rate. These stats are really kind of good for him. Chow dies a lot sometimes. Crit damage received will let him stay alive longer. This helps out his first skill and this helps him do more damage. So really, this can be anything. This could be proportionate to attack. This could be reduced damage taken from wind. And this could be attack increase in effect. But you don't want attack increase in effect, because chances are you are going to be constricted to using uh, attack attack increasing monster to get the most out of it. You want these kind of stat. So we do that now. We come over here. This is the slot where you want to scale everything based on attack percent. So we're gonna look for additional damage proportionate to attack. Where is it? Okay, right there. So now I have a few right there. This is 11. This is really good. This is 7, but you get the idea, right? I would look for something that can help him with survivability as well. So I would opt for maybe this one. Nah, probably this one. It's up to you. Like defense would be a good thing because that's the element that does more damage to him. So let's have a look at him right now. So he has more HP. The defense is kind of on the low side, but it is how your runes are. Now, moving on to the next one. So the mid-game build. Mid-game build can either be... You can go with him on Fatal, or you can probably squeeze in Violent, but I'm gonna say Violent for the end game build. So for mid-game build, you can go Fatal with him. So if it is that your runes are that good for you to get all the substats from the speed substats from the other runes, then you can do so. But for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna include it at slot 2. Same thing, crit damage. Haunt him as much speed as possible. And then you probably can go on the low side and get a little less speed. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to use this rune instead. Then for here, okay, depending on how you're using him, if you are middle game, it would be a good idea to go Will. Will can help. That is if you're using him for PvP content, which of course you must be doing because he's not really good anywhere else. Or rather, there are much better units out there to use him in PvE. So for here, I'm gonna go with the same stat priority. So this one, then we're gonna look for some HP because it's a bit low right now. So let's try with this. I meet the stat requirement, and then we're gonna get the rest of the speed in here. So we need at least 12 speed. This will work. So there we go. Right now is there chalking up a lot of damage. Okay, so moving on to the end game build. So for the end game build, it really much depends on your playstyle. But one thing is for sure, is going to be on violent. Now, if you're in a G3 guild or a really competitive guild war, it's better to go violent. Will would have been great back in the day, but guild war is such a stage where you need to make use of destroy. Nemesis is good. Right now I have him on Nemesis. He used to be on Destroy before, but I believe that Violent Destroy is very strong and Chow. So we're gonna go with Violent Destroy. So by now, since you're late game, you should be able to expend slot 2 for HP or attack instead of speed. Now, for a long while, I used to go with the HP build. So which is the full tank still does damage. The hybrid build is having one slot for attack percent and the other for HP percent. For this video, I'm gonna do both. Both are viable. So let's go starting with HP first. HP is his best stat, so you want to bank on that as much as possible and as much speed as you can. So I'm gonna choose this rune for HP over here. We're looking for speed. Let's see, what do we have here? Let's try with this for crit rate. I think that's what we're lacking now. Let me check. Destroy crit rate. I guess I could use this. Um, yeah, I believe this is the best one. Why do I think I have another one? Okay, this is good too. Which is better? I will choose this. Nah, he's lacking on defense. So I might hop for this one instead. So crit rate. Now we're gonna need to match the speed. Now this is really good. I don't know if my rune quality will get him up to the required stats. Let me see. So destroy. Uh, does this make him match? Yeah, it's pretty close. It's close enough. I mean, it's one-offs from speed. I mean, I could get him at where he should be, but right now for the... I okay. For the sake of the video, I don't remember what his rune set was. I'm pretty sure I could get him at a higher speed. Now for the attack build, I'm simply just going to change a rune. I think I have equivalent runes for that, so let's get right to it. Okay, for this one I'm going to just do this, and there you go. That's his hybrid build. So right now I'm running him on Violent Nemesis. I really should put him back on Destroy, but I just wanted to try him out on Nemesis because I know that's a pretty good set as well. So there you have it, guys. That's how you build Chow. Early game, mid game, late game. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned to the next unit. If you like this series and you'd like to see a particular unit get showcased for the next video, hopefully I have it. I can make a video on it. So yeah, peace out. See you in the next series.